Have you guys ever wondered what Warden did before he joined Team Rainbow, or how his sweet glasses ever came to be? Stick around for the whole video where we go over and discuss Warden's lore in Rainbow Six Siege. It's been quite a while since I did an operator lore video, so I decided to go back to the series, but I wasn't sure which operator to make a video on, so I took to a poll on YouTube and asked you guys who you wanted to see. Warden got the majority of the votes, so here you guys go. Let's dive right into this Warden operator lore video. Warden's real name is Colin McKinley, and he was born on March 18th, 1972, making him 48 years old as of today. McKinley grew up in Louisville, Kentucky in the United States among a very strict, hardworking father and his brothers. It's unclear how many brothers he had or what age they were, and we also don't know anything about McKinley's mother. What we do know is that Warden became highly protective due to his very strict father, and also his brothers were being bullied at school. I remember when I was younger, and my younger brother actually got bullied a decent amount at school as well, and I can recall the sheer anger and sense of protection that I felt when I was young, just like young Warden back in his childhood. So I can relate to Warden wanting to protect his brothers to the highest degree. We don't get much more info about his childhood, like at all, up until when he turns 18 years old and desires to join the military. Warden enlisted in the Marines and finished his basic training, no problem at all. He actually did see some action in his time in the service though, as he was a member of Operation Enduring Freedom as well as Operation Iraqi Freedom. In short, Operation Enduring Freedom was a direct response to the 9/11 terrorist attacks on the Twin Towers at the heart of New York City. I was actually only 4 years old when this happened. Shortly after the attacks, President Bush declared war on terrorist organizations that were thought to be the reason for the attacks. The organizations were Al Qaeda and the Taliban that were mostly centered in the country of Afghanistan. Warden did everything he can during his deployments, and he followed his orders to a T. His next operation was Operation Iraqi Freedom, where in 2003 the United States and its allies invaded Iraq due to increasing terrorist and insurgency forces in Iraq. Despite the United States' massive amount of firepower and sheer amount of technology, they just couldn't defeat the insurgents. The reason for this is because the enemy did not wear typical uniforms or typical forms of combat. They blended into the civilians and would attack at any time. This led to many of the soldiers feeling unsafe at all times, never knowing when an enemy would burst from a crowd of civilians and strike. Warden drew upon his inherent instincts of protection from all the way back to when he was defending his brothers in school, and utilized these traits on the field of battle. Warden's most decorated achievement though would be coming up later in this video. After 3 deployments from the Marines, he left and joined the Secret Service for the United States. Just to let you guys know that the Secret Service is known for accepting only around 1% of all of their applicants, so you must be really good. The Secret Service, for those of you who don't know, is a very tight-knit and highly trained organization meant to protect the United States president and the highest political figures. Warden's instincts would put him to the absolute test when he was guarding Secretary of State Baldwin was attacked by insurgents. During the attack on Baldwin, the insurgents used an insane amount of flashbangs and smoke grenades, impeding everyone's vision and cutting off all escape routes. Warden used his quick thinking and agility to grab the Secretary of State Baldwin and escorted him out of the attack alone and saved his life. This act would inspire his development of his special glasses when we talk about them later in this video. McKinley was praised as a hero due to his brave and quick efforts to save Baldwin. Later on, Baldwin ran for president of the United States, and he actually ended up winning. One of the first things he did was assign McKinley, or Warden, as one of his closest advisors and guards. Warden was the best man for the job. He was amazing at playing into people's personalities and exploiting their weaknesses and secrets. He deepens his Kentucky accent and culture when dealing with Republican senators, for example, but then he can also play the Southern gentleman around the women. It was absolutely no secret at all that Warden was a true ladies' man when it came to the upper political positions in the White House. Chilling with the president all day, whether it's in the Oval Office or on diplomatic missions, he was always by his side. With that being said though, once President Baldwin finished his second term of office, he recommended Colin McKinley to Team Rainbow. Since the leader of Team Rainbow, Dr. Harish Pandey, was close with the president, he gladly accepted the recommendation for McKinley. Upon the interview that Dr. Harish Pandey, or better known as Harry, did, he had a deep conversation with McKinley, who was actually very close to receiving his call sign Warden. By the end of the interview, Harry knew almost all that there was to know about McKinley and sometimes felt like McKinley was interviewing himself. One thing that Harry wanted to talk about with McKinley is that he made a lot of enemies in the political system of the United States. His connection to the Oval Office has instilled him with a sense of invulnerability. McKinley has made many enemies amongst politicians, businessmen, and lobbyists. He's a walking encyclopedia of their sins, every wrong that they have ever committed. And President Baldwin won't be around to protect him now that he served his 2 terms. But Harry knew that they needed someone like this on their roster for Team Rainbow. Someone as quick-witted and supremely loyal to whatever organization he is a part of. He offered a position on Team Rainbow, and McKinley gladly took his hand and received his call sign of Warden. Upon acceptance into Team Rainbow, he needed to visit Mira, or her real name is Elena Maria Alvarez, to upgrade Warden's glasses for the better. In the device evaluation completed by Mira, she states Specialist McKinley has been a nuisance. He keeps asking for a different style of his smart glasses, but I work on lens themselves. I don't do designer frames. That was a quote from her. Specialist McKinley's experience during the coordinated attack against the Secretary of State Baldwin was the catalyst for the first generation of his smart glasses. This is a quote directly from Mira during the device evaluation. It was ambitious, and he must have pulled a few strings to get his prototypes built, but they lacked refinement, and their limited thermal capacity and polarized lenses still added more weight and thickness than necessary. Specialist Weiss, which is actually IQ, and I opted for a different approach, and we managed to construct digitally enhanced glasses. The principle is simple. The sensors scan the environment through the smoke, digitally removing the occlusion, while a virtual retinal display sends images to the back of the user's eyes. The scan lag in the transmission requires him to stand still, however. When active, the red display can also clear flash effects on overwhelmed photoreceptors through near-infrared light to turbo boost the mitochondria's production of ATP. Here's a quick science question for you guys. The mitochondria is the blank of the cells. Is the answer the heart of the cells? Is the answer the brain of the cells? Or is the answer the powerhouse of the cells? Leave your answer in the comments below. Let's see how many of you guys have passed science class. Going back to Mira's quote though on the device evaluation, she says that Specialist Lyra Finka Melnikova, sorry that's a tough last name, rightly suggested that this would allow Specialist McKinley's eyes to recover more quickly from their effects. Unfortunately, he must manually activate the glasses for them to work. A drawback of the battery drain on his smart glasses, but it's a first step. So with Warden as a member of Team Rainbow and his glasses fine-tuned to the best they can, we are all caught up on his lore. Thank you everyone who voted on the poll, and also a big thank you to everyone who made it this far in the video. YouTube's algorithm is a very tough one to overcome, so thank you to you guys who stuck around to the end. Let me know in the comments who you want to see next in another Operator Lore video. Make sure to like the video and subscribe with notifications if you're new. Now with all that being said, Jeppy!